about this? I'm going to get into the IG report in 6 minutes. How about that? I'm going to take the first half hour off, okay? Just let me get the first half hour. It's a Monday. I don't want to get into it. There's some really interesting stuff in there. Don't get me wrong. It's just that everybody else has been kind of doing it. So I wanted to give you some local stuff before we moved on to all of that. Also, I would like to highlight Pete Buttigieg again. So Pete Buttigieg, who's, by the way, did you know that he's running for president, Joe? Really? Yeah, Pete Buttigieg is running for president. Didn't have any idea.
I had not heard that.
You know, there was this radio guy 3 years ago that said he was going to do it.
Really?
And nobody believed him.
Can't imagine.
Strange. Yeah.
Just can't imagine it.
Yeah, some of the people that I said that this was going to happen haven't invited me on their radio shows yet. A couple have. Have, but the other ones haven't. And I have no proof on Twitter of any of this because my Twitter account is gone. My original Twitter account is gone. That's right. So all of the old posts where I was tagging everybody and go, he's running 3 years ago, those are all gone. So I've got no evidence. It's all on Facebook somewhere. But Facebook's search function is terrible.
Agreed.
Anyway, all right. So Pete Buttigieg and Elizabeth Warren are now fighting because they're top tier. And Joe Biden continued to make more gaffes and everything else over the weekend. He said he had no idea that there was any potential conflict of interest with his son Hunter. He says nobody told me that, in spite of the fact that we know that he was told that, and that his staff was made aware of there being a conflict of interest. One of the people testifying at the trial said they talked with his staff. We also know that the State Department made an issue of it. We also know that the press asked the press secretary about it, and they addressed the situation. We know all of that. Impossible for all of that to happen without the vice president knowing about all of this circulating around his son. Impossible. Do not believe it for a second. Joe Biden's excuse for not knowing about all of that, by the way, over the weekend was that, well, my other son was dying, and that's probably why they didn't tell me. Doesn't pass the smell test. But I digress. Elizabeth Warren has spent weeks absorbing attacks from moderate rivals looking to blunt her surging campaign for the Democratic presidential nomination. And again, here we go, lumping Pete Buttigieg in with moderates, which he is not. Bernie Sanders is more moderate than Buttigieg is. Anyway, now as a Massachusetts senator risks losing momentum, she is starting to hit back. After a Democratic Party fundraiser in Boston on Thursday night, Warren blasted Pete Buttigieg, who is emerging as a leading moderate candidate, even though he's not a moderate candidate. In the leadoff Iowa caucuses set for February 3rd, she criticized the South Bend, Indiana mayor for holding closed-door fundraisers with big donors. You realize that Elizabeth Warren, I'm going to be in a bit of a unique position here. I'm going to defend Pete Buttigieg. You ready? Doesn't happen on this program a lot, but I'm going to. I'm always fair to him, but I don't get to defend the guy quite a bit. And so I'm going to do that now. When she's out there criticizing Pete Buttigieg for big donor things like that, and that she doesn't take money from big donors, do you realize she was at an event that had between 1,000, I think that was like 5,000, more than 5,000. It was gobs of money to be there, right? Large donate, maybe it was 15,000. There's some huge, massive number that was there, depending on which package you purchased. So she's out there saying, oh, you can't have these huge fundraising things while she's having these massive, expensive fundraising meals. So anyway, I think that Mayor Pete should open up the doors so that anyone can come in and report on what's being said. Those doors shouldn't be closed, and no one should be left to wonder what kind of promises are being made to the people that they pony up big bucks to be in that room. All right, so this happens a lot. Candidates will go, they'll have a closed-door fundraiser. You're not supposed to record them. I remember Mitt Romney was secretly recorded by some people at one of his. This is a common practice, okay? This is a private function to get donors. This is not a public campaign stop, okay? And the idea that he would have to open up the door for everybody to see what he is in there saying and doing is preposterous. He's doing nothing inappropriate. He's doing nothing out of the norm, and he's not doing anything that every other candidate hasn't done, including Elizabeth Warren. But she also went out there and was sitting there telling him that he needs to open up some of his records and things like that from firms that he used to work with. And I saw this getting circulated in some of the local groups and things like that. And I said, look, this is a really easy rebuff. I mean, she's refusing to release her taxes from the private sector. She's only been in government a few years. So she's refusing to release her tax returns, which will probably hurt her narrative on this Native American thing with her income at some of these places that she used her fake race to go ahead and get jobs with. And here, lo and behold, we actually have somebody who defended that. If Warren wants to have a debate about transparency, she can start by opening up the doors to the decades of tax returns that she's hiding from her work as a corporate lawyer, often defending the types of corporate bad actors that she now denounces. Dude is 100% correct. Some lawyer, I think, was writing this. I don't know who it is. Liz. Oh, no, lady. Sorry. This is senior advisor Liz Smith. So she's right. 100% right. So I'm glad that somebody over there at the Buttigieg camp saw that coming. But Elizabeth Warren's been out there attacking him. Now, in the meantime, Buttigieg has called on McKinsey to release the list of his clients that he had, which, frankly, I don't think he is responsible to do. But if he wants to go ahead and do that, there's a non-disclosure agreement that he had with McKinsey. And he's being attacked for, who are these clients and that sort of thing. So he's trying to get out of the non-disclosure agreement to make that public, and we'll see if that ultimately happens. But I don't think that he has to do that, but he's asked for it. And again, you should immediately hit Elizabeth Warren and the fact that she's hiding her taxes from everybody, because it's going to be a huge campaign issue. Why? Because Elizabeth Warren's been running around saying that Trump needs to release his taxes. Why does Trump have to release his taxes if she doesn't have to release hers? Doesn't make no sense, right? That's Chewbacca. We got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.